Hello everybody, it's Paul Neeson with the Raw Life Health Show, and here I am in my car. As you can see, it's raining outside, so what better opportunity than to make a video, right? Well, I want to make a video about this question I got from somebody, more of a comment. Now, I always say no negative comments, but this was a comment that, I don't know if it was a negative comment, but it was a comment I definitely want to comment on myself. And somebody says to me, they say, Paul, our Creator gave us the integrity to create. He certainly did, but that doesn't mean everything that we create is good. So we need to start that off. I talked in a video about shaving not being healthy, and also the way we dress having something to do with our physical health, but also our spiritual health. And this person didn't seem to agree. Now, I think hair is very important and it's there for a reason. But this person said that our Creator gave us integrity to create, and one can have their hair removed through modern treatments such as flash laser and lasers and never have to shave again. Much of the hair we have is unnecessary. Well, I disagree with that strongly. I think the hair is there for a reason, and it is very necessary, and we shouldn't destroy what our Creator put there, or we should limit the destroying of it. Today we seem to have an obsession with shaving, and I do not think it's healthy. I think the hair is there for a reason. We live in a society today where people want hair where our Creator says, no, you shouldn't have hair. And people try to take away hair where He says you should. So people are shaving their faces, but they're wearing wigs. And it's just going back and back. And they're shaving their bodies, but then they're trying to add more hair to other places that they want. And it's just not the way we were designed to live. If we were designed to have hair in a certain place, it should be there. For example, I had a video about underarm hair. It's there for a reason. So when somebody shaves their underarm hair, men or women, it's going to affect their health on some level. And now this is about health. And this lady was getting very defensive. She also goes to say, hair is unnecessary, much like the appendix in our bodies, which there is no use for any longer either. Well, this shows me that this lady, and I'm not saying she had a mean heart or a bad heart, but it shows me she doesn't know about health, because we need our appendix, we need our bodies, and when doctor takes out our appendix or any other organ they think we don't need, there's always a negative result. So it's you know, if somebody has a burst appendix, well, look at their lifestyle and their diet and so on. But don't say we don't need their appendix and it was there to create problems. No. So we need our hair, we need our appendix. Unlike this lady, she disagrees with me, but then she says, I am sure that being hairy in past history is more useful than modern times. I don't know why you're sure of that. Maybe from a social standpoint, yes, because people with hair today, at least men with hair in their faces today and women with hair in their bodies today, are not socially accepted. Maybe back then they were in previous times. But today, you know, women worship their hair for the most part. Not every woman, but when women spend hours and hours in a beauty salon and they don't want to go out of the house unless their hair looks perfect, they're worshiping their hair. And for the most part, men are doing the same thing to a degree. They're either obsessed with shaving their head, and if they have their hair, they're dyeing their hair so they look younger and all these other things. Oh, what's this coming to here? So she says, regardless of what society says, I'm not fond of hair in a woman nor men. So she wants men and women to completely shave their bodies. She wants no hair on them at all. And this is completely against our design and the way we should be living. That's like saying, I'm not fond of a certain organ, so take it out. That sounds like what doctors say. So she goes on to say, if one wants to say that it's influenced by sight, okay, I still not like hairy people. Well, ma'am, thank you for your opinion. Thank you that you don't like hairy people. Actually, I don't even know if this is a lady or a man that wrote this, but I'm assuming it's a woman. As we continue to read, you'll agree. But she says she doesn't like hairy people. Well, thank you for your opinion. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion. Many people don't like people with hair on their bodies, but that wasn't the point. My point is it's unhealthy to destroy what our Creator put there when He put our hair there. Now, she goes, as far as makeup for women is concerned, well, you could say makeup for women or for men. It's just another thing that's proven to have toxins in them, chemicals that create all sorts of diseases, including cancer, in the makeup that's used today. Now, there are healthier versions of the makeup today, but even if you use the healthy version, it's still clogging up the pores in your skin and preventing detoxification, because the skin is the biggest elimination organ of the body. And when you put on makeup, number one, you're clogging up the skin. And number two, many of the makeup out there has just, or much of the makeup out there now has just, number two, much of the makeup out there today is just toxic. It's just toxic. It's cancer-causing things in there. And number three, if you're eating a healthy diet and living a healthy lifestyle, you don't have to worry about making up your face to look like something else or someone else. I mean, I go to the supermarket and you see at the checkout line, you see these stars without makeup and they don't even look the same. I mean, I saw a picture of Britney Spears. She didn't look anything like her. Now, I think makeup is okay if you can get a healthy type of makeup and you're covering up a scar or something else. And if you decide to wear it, at least look the same way with the makeup than you did without the makeup. Don't let it completely change your appearance and make up somebody else. There is an issue with self-esteem, I believe, in my opinion, when somebody wants to make themselves look completely different than who they are. You know, I know women that wear makeup and you could not tell they're wearing makeup because naturally they look just about the same. In that instance, there's no issue with beautifying yourself because you have a low self-esteem and you don't think the world is going to like the way you look, or maybe you're competing with other women. I don't know the reason women are wearing all this makeup. My comment is makeup is not healthy. And now, if you want to look at emotionally, the only people that should be wearing makeup, which I've said many times, is the people that get paid to do it, and that is the clowns in the circus. Now, am I saying that everyone that wears makeup, and men and women, because men are wearing makeup as today as well, am I saying that men and women that wear makeup are clowns, or they look like clowns? Well, sometimes they do. But I also know that makeup will take a very naturally attractive woman with natural beauty and make her into a very sexy woman, a very lustful woman, by the way she wears her makeup. I don't think that's a wise thing to do. I think maybe her spouse could see her in that sexy state, but I don't think the world should be seeing her in that sexy state. I think there's an impact or a consequence of letting the world see you the only way your spouse should be seeing you. Now, I have to admit, there's another reason maybe you could wear makeup. I mean, if you're going to be on television for 15 minutes or an hour and your skin is too shiny and you want to put on some makeup so it's not shining off the screen or something, that's completely different. The reasoning behind it, it's the result. You're not doing it for hours and all day long every day for the rest of your life. But really, every single day for the rest of your life, wearing a mask that's toxic, loaded with chemicals, or at least clogging your skin, there's no way this can be healthy. And this lady says, as far as makeup for women is concerned, there are organic and non-chemical products without toxins in them whatsoever. That's true. And if you are going to wear makeup, ladies, please make sure you wear these types of makeup. But really, you don't need to load up the makeup. Just eat healthy and live healthy, and your skin will have a nice tone, and you won't need the makeup. These products are actually good for the skin. Not necessarily. They're not good for the skin. We don't need to put much on the skin, and if we are going to put something on the skin, the food itself should be enough. If you want oils, rub avocado on your skin or rub coconut oil on your skin. If you can't put it in your body, don't put it on your body because it's still going to get in your body. So I wouldn't necessarily say these creams are really good for our body, as this lady says, even though they say natural. She said, I know because I use them. Well, this is coming from a person that also says she thinks we don't need our appendix anymore. So I would disagree. The next thing she says is, these products are actually good for the skin. Why not use them if it makes one feel good too? Because if you have to put makeup on to make you feel good, something seems wrong. You should feel just as good and be just as beautiful naturally. If you're living healthy and so on. If you're not getting sleep and you got bags under your eyes and you got to put makeup because it makes you feel good, because it makes you look better. That's like somebody that's, a man that's losing his hair saying, I'm going to wear a wig because it makes me feel good. Well, look at maybe, first of all, why are you losing hair? And second of all, if that's the way our Creator wants you to lose hair, then feel good just with the way you are. You don't have to add to these things. Who are you trying to impress is the real question. I mean, we got to seriously think about these things, people. And this is my point. I'm not saying that women are clowns because they're wearing makeup or people are clowns. I'm saying they're deceived to think they need so much makeup to completely change themselves and to feel good about this as well. This person says, if we should follow your argument against makeup for women if desired, then a woman also should not adorn herself with jewelry or should not vary the clothes they wear. Let's all wear potato sacks. No, again, I disagree with this person, and I just know it's a woman that wrote this. I could tell. First of all, I'm not saying women should wear potato sacks or verify the different types of clothes they wear. I think women could dress very modest and be very attractive in a natural standpoint, not in a sexy standpoint, by wearing different types of clothing, not potato sacks, and be considered classy and beautiful. Now, women that are wearing clothes that are revealing every part of their body, tight pants and low-cut shirts and things like this, again, there is a self-esteem issue. It has nothing to do with my opinion. There's a self-esteem issue. Maybe when that woman was younger, she was told that her figure wasn't good enough, and now she might have a figure and she wants to show it off to the world. The only person that should be seeing that woman's body and her figure and her private parts is her husband, maybe her children, but not the world. Certainly not every other man in the world. But I understand this is the way women think, and it's a problem. It's just not healthy. Now we got to look at the fabrics we're wearing, the unnatural fabrics. I mean, when you're wearing cotton and linen and wool and natural fabrics, great. But when you're wearing synthetic fabrics, not good. Now, as for jewelry, you talk about worshiping things. Look, if somebody goes out and wears a piece of jewelry on a certain occasion, but if they lose that jewelry, it's no big deal to them. That's one thing. But when somebody worships their diamonds and their jewelry, and if they lose that, their life is over. They're just so upset and they can't sleep. That's worshiping the jewelry. Jewelry is not the issue. The reasoning behind it is the issue, and what you're doing with it. Why do you have the jewelry? Number one, did you buy it yourself? Did somebody give it to you? And then how's your emotions towards the jewelry? Do you worship it? Like, there's no end. If this jewelry is gone, I'm gone. And how do you feel about the jewelry? I'm not saying it's bad to wear jewelry, but we have to think of the reason why we're doing it. I mean, if somebody wants to wear diamonds, why don't they wear fake diamonds? Why do they need real diamonds? And then we got to look at the idea behind the jewelry again. If I'm wearing a big chain with my nameplate and everything else, with gold teeth and a nose ring, that's different than somebody giving somebody else a wedding ring and somebody wearing a wedding ring. But still, folks, look, with all of this, with makeup, with clothing, with jewelry, these things can be healthy and okay. But my point is, the way the majority of people look at them and idolize them, it's not healthy and okay, and somebody has to speak up about it. And I'm going to do it, and I'm going to let you know. So I'm not saying that nobody should ever do these things. I'm just saying it's not ideally the best thing for our physical or emotional health. And she goes on to say, you ask for no negative responses, but I find it quite insulted that you say women with makeup look like clowns. Well, let me correct myself. Clowns in the circus look like many of the women that wear a lot of makeup. Okay? And men as well. Men are wearing makeup as well today as well. It's just makeup. It's making us into somebody else. And as I said, if you want to look different because you don't like the way you look, well, change your appearance by eating healthier and living healthier, not by putting a mask on. Again, if you have a scar, it could be okay, but... And she goes on to say, that's your opinion. Well, I don't consider this a negative comment. I consider this a very constructive comment by somebody who's really concerned about what I said, and I thank her for it. As for her being insulted by it, it just shows me even more that people really need to hear this, because they're just really seriously deceived to think that there's no reason to get insulted. I'm not insulted by her comments to me. She could have her opinion. You are not the last word, and it's not quite right for you to press your religious views on others and pass them off as part of your raw living style. First of all, I don't know where her idea of religious views came from. This has nothing to do with my spiritual views or values. This is, well, in a way it might, but this is really about health. I'm concerned about people's health, their emotional health, and their physical health, and their spiritual health. And I think the majority of religions out there would agree that it's not wise to just walk around showing off your private parts to the world. Number one. Number two, to put on a mask and be somebody who you're not. Spiritually, I think most religions out there would agree that there's something's missing there. If you don't feel secure to be in society with the way you look, if you need to do something to yourself, I think most religions will agree that something's not right there. So, ma'am, I don't think this has anything to do with my religious views. I think you're very, let me put it this way. I was once at a lecture, I was often at a lecture talking about how high heels are unhealthy. High heels are unhealthy physically, emotionally, and spiritually. And as soon as I found out about that, I stopped wearing them. But I'm just kidding. But high heels are just not healthy, folks. So this lady got up. She was wearing really high heels, and she walked out of the lecture. A couple of weeks later, she emailed me, and she said, "I'm sorry, but I heard what you said about high heels. The reason I got up and walked out of the lecture was because I knew you were talking about me." Now, I wasn't talking about her particularly, but I was talking about women that wear high heels. And she says, "I knew that I needed to hear that, and it was very difficult for me because I knew what you were saying was true. But now I've come to realize that the truth hurts, but I needed to hear it, so thank you." Well, ma'am, I think, or whoever wrote this email, I think the truth hurts. But that's I believe what I feel about this. If you have any comments or questions about this, don't turn off the video or unsubscribe. Just realize that don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. Well, there are some things I'll say you'll agree with and some things you won't. But I can guarantee you'll get something good out of some type of video I have here. So stay subscribed. If you don't like it, no negative comments. Just move along. And if you want to say you disagree, that's fine. But don't tell me that, you find what I said, my religious views, insulting. Don't get insulted by what I said. It's just my opinion. All right, everybody. Thank you very much. Until then, everybody, put your comments below the video. Have a great day and a great raw life.
Nature's wealth, good for your health. This is the Raw Life Health Show. Raw Life, brighten up your life.